ahora sí, vamos a casi terminar esta sesión con la conference summary por parte de Santiago Herce Castañón del C3. Adelante.
Sí. Gracias, Aleida. Well, thank you all. I'm tasked with the tiny task of summarizing a 3-day full-on conference in 15 minutes. I'm sure I'm not going to do a great job. So my one-word summary is it's a success. I think we can all agree it's been an absolute success to have this conference. I was very excited and had high expectations of what was going to come out of it. But my expectations were exceeded. I'm super happy. I think I've perceived everyone also perceived this success as a conference. We had over 50 researchers, world-class researchers joining us. We had 16 amazing talks. Each one of them were really substantial and amazing. We had 8 roundtables that were also exquisite in the diversity of opinions they expressed. As Chris already mentioned, we had over 90 contributions to the posters. I did try to walk through all of them, but I didn't have much time to spend in each of them. But what I saw was super impressive. Each of them were, I wish I had the time to see them all. And this success, I think we owe to a lot of people. There's a lot of silent heroes and heroines. I'm only going to name a few of the ones that you didn't see much, but they were very important. That's Aleida, Patty, Adriana, of course, Oscar behind the scenes over there. It really takes a lot to put something like this, and the success is partly owed to them. Of course, the organizing committee, of which I'm part, but I exclude myself from it. The speakers as well. I know it required enormous effort to make it here, and we are really grateful of your amazing contributions. The poster presenters, of course, and everyone who attended and was managed to stay here from 9 to 8 p.m. for 3 days consecutive. That's very impressive. All the panelists, all the moderators as well, and everyone else who contributed to this great success. So the structure and the thematic organization of the conference tried to mimic a little bit the structure and organization of C3 and the mission of C3. I'll speak a bit about the mission in a bit, but I'm sure it will be spoken of later. It has already been spoken of. So even though we did have blocks, thematic blocks, and we tried to organize both the posters and the talks along these thematic blocks, it was evident for everyone that these were arbitrary blocks, and the different blocks, thematic blocks, permeated into each other. But what we did was to try and have a block on poverty, inequality, and urban planning, which was amazing, was the first one. Then we had a bioinformatics and systems biology block, also exceptional talks and posters. A climate change and sustainability one. It was a bit sad at times, but also encouraging at others. Computer science, AI, and data science. That was mostly positive news, I guess, and food for hope. We had health and medicine, not necessarily super cheerful, but a lot of room for improvement. Excellent contributions, excellent talks. This morning we had neuroscience, psychology, and decision making. Decision sciences, and we finished with complexity science that ties it all together. Sorry. So just briefly about the cause for celebration. I think we are, as the letter says there, we are celebrating 10 years of the inauguration of this building, and probably about 30 years of the inception of the idea of C3. And at this point in time, in our historical time, we are facing dire consequences in a lot of problems that society faces. It's exciting to see that we have more knowledge and more technologies than ever before. And yet, all of these problems like health, climate change, declining democracies, a rise in inequality, declining trust in universities and institutions. These are all problems that have been in decline for a while, and we are facing, we're not just stationary in those problems. If anything, we're marching in the wrong direction. So we do have a need for changing the ways we are approaching these problems. Why do we think we are marching in the wrong direction? In part because of disciplinary, we've said a lot of times, but as Max said, I don't know where Max went, as Max said already, disciplinary was needed. It made us advance in all of that knowledge, and in a way I think about the low-hanging fruit that it allowed us to harvest. But it did create some problems for us, this disciplinary way of doing science. It created some barriers that now we have to cross over. And what it means is that pretty much all the problems that we are left without solving are complex problems. We managed to make good progress in the simpler problems. On these complex problems, I won't try not to repeat too much, but it includes a multitude of factors, a multitude of processes and interactions between those factors and processes, a bunch of different temporal scales, geographic scales, levels of understanding, and interactions between all of those things. That's my take of what complex problems means. And what C3, the Center for Complexity Sciences, is meant to do, and what this conference was about, is about how we can put together all these different disciplines and all these experts that are willing to cross those barriers in order to try and communicate with one another, to cooperate with one another, and to try to find this common language that will allow us to cross this, solve these difficult problems. Yeah, we had talks spanning the humanities, we had talks spanning political sciences, we had allusions to arts, biological sciences, and quantitative sciences all together. And CETRES knows that we need all of them. But CETRES also knows that we need the actors, all actors of society, in order to solve these problems. And that's a very noble cause, and what differentiates CETRES from other places I've had the pleasure to be in. CETRES was born out of this very noble mission to bring the university back into the service of society as a whole. And that makes me very proud to be a very new member of this community. And basically the big challenge that CETRES is posing is, how can we be happy of all of our knowledge generation in society that we've done in all of the history of humanity, if the world's most important problems are rampant? So yeah, I think we are celebrating 10 years of CETRES and almost 30 years of the inception of the idea of CETRES, because this task is not easy, and because CETRES has made a wonderful job navigating against these currents, these incentives, these disciplinary structures, these socio-political pressures. And this has required very brave and stubborn people that I see over here, to build these communication bridges, to speak all the different languages that are spoken in the different disciplines that are needed, to find commonalities between the different customs. We were lucky to have a talk from the humanities, and for people who have been doing science all their life, it's a very different format. The customs are totally different, and this is part of the challenges that need to be solved, and that CETRES is doing a great job at doing. So this excellent conference and the Complexity Week altogether, I think is a testament of the excellent success that CETRES has been, and the cause for celebration. So yeah, congratulations to everyone, and I hope you all feel part of CETRES, and congratulations to all in that case.
Santiago, thank you. So now we are having our last round table.